Hi, David Erdos. This poem is hopefully pleasing on a number of levels, including the word pleasing. This is poem 69 from David's COVID/2020 vision, Palm Sunday. I think of all of the sex workers at home, performing their phantom moves for the camera, and then the furtive men, chaste and housebound, still seeking their smile through the dark. In the flickering light of a fleshed full sun there is congress, but with no proof of pleasure, other than where a stain leaves its mark. My own desires rely on the imagination now, or projection, a small but boxed image on a laptop screen or a phone, or perhaps some old photograph held by the galleried eye or soul's flea pit, where the dancing ants time looks down on, as Orson Welles did, spirit bone. What is it I'm admitting? You know, as after all we all do it. If not directly, then in memory, I'm quite sure. As that's where those craved treasures were first struck from the surrounding earth and revalued, the tastes and thrills the heart savours as the tongue and tear cry for more. But it isn't just sex I speak of, despite it being that former English staple of Sunday, after the roast beef has descended and Dad and the kids wash the car. I'm talking about the whole thing, of course, as the past provokes masturbation, if not by the hand, then thought pulling at a fast enough rate to stoke scars. That need we now have to get back to the life COVID swallowed. You dare not spit through contagion, as we still cannot trace the seed's reach. To commit this act is to cry. It is the torn and tired tears of the body. Masturbation is yearning for who and what you know has been breached. It is the separation of flesh, as well as spirit. It is sweet nostalgia that in being gripped can still teach that what you once loved has been lost, but it can come again, if you're careful. That flame that spun and sparked your great fire has, in being snuffed, left the smell that lingers now on the air. Seminal, influential, that last hidden river still bubbling beneath, love's deep well. This splutters up now today, or on any day, you remember, or try to revive through your actions both the beauty that bred you and the magics once made from cast spells. We yearn for what was, just as those bachelors melt for those women. We seek that skin flicker that plays in the former film of our lives, and we cry. Each soul weeps as our bodies seep and feel blindly, touching our prone, private places to retrieve the public ports of affection. Each dream is projected now and protects us, and this is the way love survives. And so, on Sunday, we rest, as God's biography tells us. And yet, in corrupting his image, we confuse the divine with the base. As the ecstasy of release has been withheld for the moment on account of the ruin and the terrors with which we're now faced. And yet, our one-hand prayers hold the key. We just don't know where it is, that's the problem. And so we hunt for it through each closed estate and stopped land, convinced hope will come, and then come again. We're all actors. In a pornography of the spirit, the wood, spelt with a U and L, can't quite harden, and thus we do not understand why this social impotence struck, and why the political Viagra stopped working. Stranded and stuck, paled performers can never quite make a clear stand, or know what they are, why they're there, and even how to assert their position. But this is what we must do, as love's honoured, and the future too. That's my plan. For there will be new thrills to come, and hope in hand. Just grasp for them. As someone who works or worked in the theatre, believe me when I tell you that there are so many actors who, stood or stranded, do their level best to seek heaven, and yet love's paradise taunts them, for they have lost true desire and dumbed, damned and distracted, do not know what the hell to do with their hands. Love's legacy spirals on, even in a time without contact. For those lonely men, it's not women for whom they actively strive. It's themselves. As the mist clears, the mask is finally lifted. The gain and excitement to capture is a fusing of forms that soothes health. When the body's fulfilled and the mind achieves satisfaction, this is the romance with an image that starts to represent something else, an act of creation that moves across a matter of inches, but from which miles and ages will soon ensure fears dispelled. Activate your controls and signal all your impulses. The future is coming. Power, prepare, master hell. David Erdos, May the 17th, 2020.